let's talk about him and his leadership qualities.
In the absence of inspirational, the late Senzo Meyiwa, I've got no doubt in my mind. Right on Tuesday, I told my colleagues in another meeting that the captain should be and is going to be Dean Femen. And I was shut down. You know, once you are informed and you are in a position of knowledge, sometimes it's better to keep composure. I never argued with them. I think now all of those guys who argued with me have been answered, because at the end of the day, I was with the team in Khartoum and I saw how this guy performed. Let me tell you a secret. I went to Ghana, visited Abedi Pele, and I was with Dede Ayew one-on-one. And of all the South African players, Dede Ayew asked me, where is Dean Femen? He's a very good player. And I just told him, he's like you. He started to play football in Europe. So he's got the basis right. He's very focused and he's very determined. He's very inspirational. And even though he's a white boy, but I tell you, he's very unified, because in Khartoum, the manner in which he was able to assimilate and interact with the other players showed me that he's a guy who's got vision. Not only can he play, he's also got the leadership qualities. And on the field of play, when the chips are down, he's able to inspire players around him. And those are some of the attributes and qualities you look for when you are looking for a captain. Captaincy should not be based on sentiments and in terms of race. It should be based on the field of play, 90 minutes, a player that comes with the attribute to help the coach to get the desired results.
Now that the issue of captaincy is dealt with, let's now look at the preparation of the team to this afternoon's game, rather. It hasn't been a smooth one. May Mahlangu pulled out, and he didn't pull out really, wrote a letter saying that he's suffering from fatigue and all of that. And Safa and Shakes Mashaba and the team decided that maybe they must ban the player. What's your view on that?
It's not okay to ban a player. As I stand here, I'm for punishment. But the essence of punishment, and I'm speaking this to my own president, Dr. Danny Yoldan, is meant to correct and rehabilitate. Any punishment for whatever reason that seeks to destroy and crush people, I'm not for it. For them to come very swiftly and say, no, we ban him. Do you know the implications of that? It means May Mahlangu, in whatever instance, will never play in England, because at the end of the day, you need 75% of your national call-ups to be able to be eligible to play for any team in England. And what are you telling me of a government that have a policy to help fight alleviation of poverty? And you come in this way to say no, because he's written a letter, he was ill-advised. We all know that. It's come out very clear this week. And you come swiftly without even calling him to get his side of the story and ban him. For me, I think that was very harsh. It's very uncalled for. And the leadership at SAFA must rethink this, because, yes, he needs to be punished, but he needs to be punished in a restorative justice, in a manner that seeks to correct him and make him aware that he is who he is, because he's a South African. And South Africans do support him. And at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. We don't need to destroy May Mahlangu.
But also, let's look at some of the antics players will display, more especially when they are now finding their food abroad. In this case, May Mahlangu is doing well and all of that. But also, now that the national team needs you to come and do your national duties, you then come with such lame excuses. So what do we say then to such young talent?
Players are managed and controlled by managers and so-called agents. If we really need to deal with this predicament and these problems, we need to engage the agents, because the agents manage them and they get money out of them. I know instances of people who have studied to be lawyers and they've stopped going to the courtroom managing players, because in football today, modern day football, there's a lot of money, and that is where we need to. Why do we have to deal with the symptoms instead of dealing with the root cause? And the root cause are the agents who will advise these players. And for me, that is where we should start from. For us to be, shouting and punishing the poor players is an act of cowardice. And it's an easy way out that is not going to solve any problem. Didier Zogora from Ivory Coast was called. He refused a call-up. As we speak now, Captain Christopher Katongo was thrown out of camp in the other game against Niger in Lusaka. Players, when they get to a certain point, sometimes they become chacharak. But I think at the end of the day, managers and leadership of football across the African continent are the custodians of football. They act as father figures, they act as head figures, and are able to come by virtue of advice and in terms of wisdom to advise these guys, to show them the way. They don't become angry overnight and say, because you didn't do X, Y, Z, and therefore we are throwing you away. It's like bathing your baby in a basket. And when he urinates and goes to toilet in the same water and basket, you take the basket and the water and the child and throw it away. Is that what to do? No, I do not believe in that.
What an analogy, Malume. But now let's also look at the fact that the very inspirational Senzo Moiwa that you spoke about earlier, he's not going to be in this game since he passed away. Now let's look at what does that do to the team that it will be playing such a crucial match.
The players must first ignore and forget about the death of Senzo because it's too traumatized, it's too painful, it's too emotional, and on the 90 minutes, do the job. Once they win, they can dedicate the win to the memory of Senzo Meyiwa. That's the only way maybe we are going to work around it. And I was very inspired when the team of Sudan came to South Africa, went to Durban, and I think yesterday they went to the grave of Senzo Meyiwa to pay their respect. It's an element of solidarity. It's an element of African friendship, Ubuntu, and they demonstrated that. I was in that country. I was very inspired by the contentedness of the people of that country, even though economically things doesn't seem to be the way it is. But the population are very satisfied with who they are and what they are. And for them to come here and not to just look at the element of qualification and the 3 points and say, no, there's a human being here, and go to the grave to pay their last respect. That is what Africans are supposed to do. I think at the end of the day, if Bafana Bafana are able to pick 3 points and guarantee a place in Equatorial Guinea AFCON 2015 early next year, they must dedicate their win to Senzo Meyiwa. That is the best form of tribute they can pay to him, because if we go to the first minute thinking about Senzo Meyiwa, I don't think they will have the energy and the technical competency and the mentality to play positively and get the results. And we need results, because after this game, Siaya Abuja. And this time around, Nigerians are not playing in Calabar. They've taken the game to Akwa Ibom in a stadium that is very similar to the Calabash. I saw it when they invited the Ghana Black Meteors to open that stadium, and they beat Ghana 1-0. And I think Nigeria, if they win today, they will fancy their chance. The fact that they were not given the rights to host the event means they must qualify, because if they don't get a point, or if they don't get maximum point today, it will mean they won't get the chance to defend their title, and that will be very, very sad.
Malume, thanks a lot for your time as always.
No, Maganjani.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
That was soccer analyst Kudjo Amankwa giving us an insight on what is it that we can expect later on when Bafana Bafana takes on Sudan out at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban. It's time now for a short break. Stay tuned.